Well, hello, 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 hello. Um, ah, shoot, that's coming through. Hold on a second. Volume off. Easy does it. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see ya. Um, so, I've not really done this for a while. It's been a minute. I got sick with COVID. And good to see you too, man. Good to see you too. Got sick with COVID, and that sucked for a little bit, and then I was kind of like all screwed up. And also, thanks for the resub. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Um, Sucked. Was sitting around for a little bit, and then I just never quite came back. Just never quite got it back. So I was out of the game for a little bit. Had a hard time, kind of like wanting to stream or whatnot. But um, I have motivation to do so today and kind of right now. So that's what I'm working on. I have a course with Egghead that I'm hoping to get out sometime soon, and so it involves like all of the things that one might need to know in order to actually get up and running with this cool thing right here, Storybook. Now, uh, I've actually not gone through the initial setup of Storybook very many times, and so I figured why not do it on stream, and I can learn a bunch, and then if any, maybe it'll be helpful to other people in terms of setting up their projects and whatnot. So I figure what I kind of figure is so one thing that I know right off the bat. So I guess format wise, the goal is I want to build this up, kind of build up the content from these first principles, outside in, etc. Now, the shape that that'll actually take, I'm not totally sure. We're gonna go through the documentation. I'm gonna write some notes in Notion. That'll be a big part of this, and we'll just kind of like, I think, go through a bunch of projects and see which one is maybe the best starter project. One thing you know about Storybook is that it is designed to be integrated into an existing project. So you kind of have to have some kind of semblance of a project uh, existing before you run the SBinit command. And I want to see which is maybe the lowest friction one that we can build an example on, because that's super important for building up starter materials, that it's like kind of approachable to everyone, etc. So that's what we're here for today. I don't know. I might spend the next couple hours just going through this stuff. If you're here and you have any questions, I don't see any stats, so I know that Ben has been here, and so did someone say Storybook? Oh, hey, thanks for resubscribing too. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. If you got any questions as we go through this, I mean, it's really, we're gonna be fully expressing some of the beginner content. So I want to answer your questions and then use those to guide how we actually build this material. So let's dive in. Okay, so this is storybookjs.org. This is exactly what you're going to see when you jump right onto the front page. Also, tell me if my audio gets crunchy at any point. I'm using a new camera integrated with my mic setup, and so I think I got the level right. But if it gets crunchy, let me know, or if it's too quiet. All those kinds of things. Figuring this stuff out as we go along. Oh, look at this. So I haven't done a whole lot with my OBS setup, but check this out. I installed this like motion thing, and look at that. The little comments just pop right in there. How cool is that? So anyway, yeah, comments provided by showmy.chat by our friend Ben here. Captain Crunch. Yes, absolutely. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, cool. I think we're good. Schnazzy. Okay, so we got that going. I need to build out some like web overlays. I think I'm probably gonna do that on stream at some point. And then I think I'm gonna do like a top-down, a little like flipped order thing, Ben. So then and then I'm gonna have them just go behind my head. What do you think about that? Does that sound kind of like a fun one, fun layout? Okay, so first things first, I do want to recognize that a so kind of like I guess like have we'll put a table of contents here of contents, and we're gonna say prerequisites, and this is gonna be some type of project using Webpack. And to a lesser extent, that's going to be Vite as well. We'll kind of figure out like to what degree we can actually kind of use a Vite project, because that would actually be really cool. Okay, so a little bit of information about Storybook. Great. And then we can see the made for section over here. Now I think that this made for section is actually going to mirror the docs pretty well. So these are all setups that actually are integrated, better integrated, like have like a first class integration or a community integration that's all set up and ready to go. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this first. I guess React is kind of the most popular one. So let's just go from the React. Actually, let me open up these. So we have Showcase. This is like pretty cool. It's a little encyclopedia of component libraries that people have. And then Docs. Here we can choose the different frameworks. This actually is a little bit more instructive because it shows the core frameworks and then the community frameworks. So I'm pretty sure we're going to end up going with a core framework since that documentation is maintained by us. Let me see if I click on HTML, what happens. Okay, so I might take that back because starting with an HTML project actually probably makes the most sense, because it's going to be like if you can do it with HTML, you can do it with any of the other things. At least I think, from my perspective. Anthony, what's up, friend? Thanks for being here. Adulto, hello. Good to see you too. Good to see you. I forgot how fun this was. I forgot how fun it was to hang out with y'all, but also how awkward it is that I'm the only one with a microphone. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to say, so we have all these projects: React, Vue, Angular, Web Components, Ember, HTML, Svelte, and Preact. My inclination is that we should kind of start with a standard, and then you can kind of from there figure out how to do it with your own framework. And I'm leaning HTML over Web Components, just because Web Components is just something that there's just a lot of turmoil around there. Oh no, we got a 404. Yikes, this is embarrassing. That's so weird. I thought I was just there. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to refresh this page, see what happens. Refresh. I'm going to go HTML. That worked. Super weird. I went back. I hit HTML. Interesting. Momentary glitch, I guess. What did I do? I know. I start streaming and I break the Storybook site. This is very on brand for me. Something has to break that is outside of my control on these streams. Or am I even doing anything? Am I even streaming? Okay. Any concerns with that? Does HTML feel like a good starting point? I feel good about it. So let's see what's in here. So introduction. So this is all of this stuff is fairly standard. Let's see. We're gonna go with HTML starter. Yeah, always good. Alistair, good to see you. Welcome. Nice. Well, thank you for being here. It's fun. It's one of the fun things about Discord. I feel like it's this like curated kind of, the people in our community. You always get notifications for all that kind of stuff. I love it. Talk about horses now. Feel free. feel free. Okay, so we're going to use the HTML starter. I think that's probably a good place to start. Um, these are all like the general parts of this documentation are all mirrored in kind of like other places, the other frameworks. Um, so let's try this. So we're going to use the Storybook CLI, npx SB init. Now, usually this is run inside of existing projects, but I'm really curious what that looks like for the HTML version of Storybook. I've never actually run this. So I'm gonna just make an empty project and see what happens. So go here. I think I'm in, yeah, okay. So let's, what's inside of Storybook? Is that, no, okay. Oh, that's actually Storybook. Okay, we're gonna go. It's gonna make a directory, so it needs to be inside a project directory. Even though we don't have like a project, let's do it. Oh, do I have the? Oh yeah. So it's just the last 6. I should probably fix that. I should probably fix that. That's my bad. Um, you have so many cool APIs now. I must have. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna make a directory, and this will be SB HTML starter. We'll cd into that directory, and we have nothing in it. So just proving the case that we have nothing inside of this. Now we're gonna run npx SB init and see what happens inside of this empty directory. So I need to install the following packages. Okay, so that's going to be, because we're using npx and I haven't run it recently, it's going to go and fetch that package. So yes, we're okay with that. Let's see. It's going to do its thing. Let's read these docs. So if you run into issues, check the troubleshooting section. Okay, it looks like it's at the bottom of that file, so, or that page. Okay, so when we start, we run the command npx sx. Oh my gosh, npx escape sb init. I'm gonna say we start empty project directory. Okay. Hide messages from. Is that an API? That'd be an interesting API actually. Hide messages from, and then like an array of. Dude, is that in there? I don't even know. It exists. Oh my gosh! Look at Ben. Where's the guides here? Is this the guides? Overlay configuration. Oh my goodness. So this is what I have. I'm capped at 6. It needs to be. I can fix that. Show my chat. Here, I'm just gonna do that right now. Show my chat. Latest. I'm gonna take that off. I'm not sure what I was thinking at the time that I did that, but we're taking it off. Okay, so that should. Oh, I lost the messages, but it should start over again. It's all new. Yes, we did a little like clear on it. Okay, cool. That should go all the way to the top now. Look at how easy that was. Look at how easy it was. Pfft, beauty of a great API. Okay, so SBNet made a is not made for empty projects. So we talked about this. Or any other tooling available. Okay, so this is where I'm really curious, like in the HTML setup. I don't know what like a standard HTML project looks like. So that's kind of I guess that's my curiosity right now is what does it even look like to have that standard HTML project? So SBNet, simplest way to add Storybook to your project. Okay, detect your project. Couldn't detect your project type. code undetected. You can specify a project type explicitly via SB init type. So, okay, document. Okay, so we have a link here. Let's go here. This is just, okay. Okay, I think that's the page that we're on. Docs on how to configure Storybook for your framework. Okay. So I guess that's the troubleshooting section, maybe? Okay, yes. npx sbinit react. Migration guide. Try asking for help. Okay, so what I want is the HTML type, I think. Let's look at npm real quick. I think that these are in Storybook React. And I wonder if there's a, yeah, there we go. Storybook HTML. I know, really cool. You can explicitly define a type. That's interesting. That's worth noting. So actually, let me copy this whole thing. So when we started with an empty project, we got, whoops. So we start from an empty directory. We got this. Oh no, that's the wrong kind. I want a, what is it? Quote? Actually, no, I want code. What the what? Man, sometimes Notion is not awesome. I'm gonna be honest. Not awesome at interpreting, knowing exactly what I expect from it at any given moment. Austin Krim, hey, what's up? Oh, dude, this hair is getting so out of control right now. So I'm trying to. I think the last haircut I got was in June of last year. Stupid. Yeah, I was like before I was like right after I got um, politically removed from my position and went on vacation for a little bit. I got a haircut then, and I don't know. Maybe I just haven't wanted to get a haircut since. Anyway, do you want to manually choose a Storybook project type to install? Okay, so we can. It's asking us if we want to do that, but I do think it's interesting that we have that. We have that document here, the troubleshooting doc, which tells us we can use this. I want to capture that as a point. So can choose a project type via the CLI. Okay. Now in our case, Chanbun. Okay, there was a period of time where I used to have it all pulled back and I did a bun and I did like an undercut thing and it was pretty cool. I liked it, but I just got to that point where it's like my hair started falling out and it was just kind of, I was just keenly aware of just kind of some of this like unevenness here and just made me sad. So I cut it short. I felt very not awesome, when I was, my hair was just falling off. Okay, do you want to manually choose a project? Okay, so do I want to manually choose a project type? Okay, the answer is no, but I'm not, I'm not actually sure what that's gonna do. I feel like yes. Okay, cool. Yes is providing what I wanted, which is I want to select it from the CLI. So we have all of the options here, a bunch of really cool options, and HTML right here. Okay, cool, perfect. Oh, sad. Let's see, installing dependencies Reify. Okay, so not happy with that one. Error occurred while installing dependencies. New minor version available of. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay, well, it gives us an opportunity to, let's make sure there's still nothing in there. I guess we do have a package JSON file right now. I'm gonna remove that so we can start over. Okay, so in this case, I can run npx sb init type HTML. Theoretically, and that's gonna maybe take us and do this package. So if I do npx sb npx, oh my gosh, init type HTML, that should map to this package, which I think it does. Still though, we're having this issue. Okay, so preparing to install dependencies. No such file or directory SB HTML package JSON. This is related to npm not being able to find a file. Okay. Okay, so I guess maybe we need to npm init. Init, great that we need to npm init. We just, whatever, we'll just take the defaults on all this. Yes, it's okay. Not great, but it's okay. It's okay. Oh, what was that? Jan, what's up? Hey, good to see you, Jan. Okay, so I haven't done that before. So let's see, npm. So we're gonna remove that, and we're gonna do, let's see, npx sb. Welcome to SB Repro. Create a new project to minimally reproduce Storybook issues. Select an environment that most closely matches your project setup. Select the location, reproduction outside of your project. Oh, that's cool. I've not seen this. So let's do this. So we'll do HTML. Does that work this time? Enter the output directory. Oh, cool. Okay, so if that's the case, we don't need this SB HTML starter. Okay, so now if we're going to use that repro approach, it's actually going to go through and set everything up for us. Is that right, Jan? Let's see. Okay, HTML. Enter the output directory. So this will be HTML starter. Okay, cool. Cool. Did a bunch of stuff for us. Starting for HTML latest. Okay. Bootstrapping HTML project. That's super cool. This might take a few minutes. No problem. Installing Yarn 2. Adding needed dependencies and installing all apps. Yarn install. Perfect. This is really cool, Jan. I didn't know about this, so thank you. Your Storybook reproduction project is ready for use. That's actually really handy. Once you've created the problem you're experiencing, please document your additional steps. Okay, cool. Clean repro helps us solve your issue faster. Okay, so now I'm going to go into that directory. I'm going to add all this. So git commit npx. Jan, I'm curious, when I'm doing this repro command, is there a way to pass options? Like if I wanted to just pass like the type HTML, can I pass that along as well? Let's see, through the detect, you need either a package JSON or a browser.json, bower.json. That, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I heard Bower. That's wild. Uh, yeah, that's from the before times, the way before times. Okay, cool. Well, that's cool. It's neat that we can pass the type along too. So I'm gonna say we ran the command. What was it? npx sb repro. sb repro. Okay. Nothing to commit. Oh, it's probably already committed. So what's the log? Added storybook. Oh, cool. Perfect. Man, it's already Git and everything. That's super sweet. So we're going to capture that. So npx, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. Is there a way to learn this? Can I just, can I learn it right here? SB repro. What's that do? It, test if takes type argument. Okay. So once we have that, we can just do, let's see, cat, actually, let's do this. So we have yarn, nope, yarn run. What are our options? Nope, yarn. All right, false fails, look at the package JSON, right? Sorry, but your npm repro is another castle. Valorant, how's your Valorant going? That sounds like way more fun. Let's see. I haven't actually played Valorant. Is it awesome? I heard that what is it? Elden Ring? Elden Ring? I hear that that's the jam right now. That's what all the cool kids are playing. Okay, so what scripts do we have? We have Storybook. Okay, so we're gonna use yarn Storybook. We don't have to run our run command. Okay, cool. So we have here, and then let's open up in a code editor as well. So what do we have here? We have our kind of like boilerplate storybook. This is super cool. Doop, 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 doop. We have our stories. These are, fairly standard stories. Now let's look at the code that it actually generated for us. So we have our setup here. Good, good, good. Stories, assets. We have a button CSS. We have a button JS. And we have a story. So this is interesting because I guess I don't know if I would anticipate that a HTML starter would be using JavaScript. So that's a little bit of a surprise for me. That's interesting. So what is this JavaScript? Okay, so it's I guess, so it's not technically HTML. It's still JavaScript. It's just like vanilla JavaScript. Okay, so Jan says, so repro is a command we ask the community to use to easily create reproducible repos. Yep, that helps a lot when we want to show an issue. It differs from init because init is for existing projects. Yeah, totally fair. Okay, cool. Well, I guess this makes sense. I mean, like, I think that this, I'm trying to think. So what does this story look like? Okay. So in this story, we have our interface. So this is where it's showing up. And then we have our arg types. So the arg types for this are going to be background color, label, on click, size, control, options, etc. So then those get put on a create button. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm trying to process like what this actually is. I'll try to say it out loud. See, so Jan says, by the way, currently React and Angular projects already come with an example for interactions. Yes. Okay, cool. So this is interesting, and I think I need to look. Let me look real quick at let's see, Storybook CSF. Probably have to create an integration of Storybook into my Stealth upcoming front-end library. Nice. Tell us more. Tell us more. Tell us your secrets. Um, okay, so this is component story format. And then this is, this is one of the big, like, this is going to be a super important part, like, to get right, is communicating this, component story format, and the values of it, the integrations that you get from it, etc. And so I would not want to kind of like go so far as to like just do some like kind of like useless HTML stuff, when the value of this is that you get a lot with component story format, which is JavaScript. So I might be kind of like barking up the wrong tree, trying to get too far away from JavaScript. And I think this is evidence of that, because we're actually making like a JavaScript, like a vanilla JavaScript component here. So good to know. 007.js. Yeah, I hate to say it, but React might be the best starter. So in our planning meeting with Egghead, that was also kind of, we had talked about, if we can not find a decent, like a starter that appeals to everyone, like what would be a decent fallback? And it really was kind of like, React has the lion's share there. So, man, it's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping to get away from that, but I think that that's going to be the way that it is. Okay. Well, it is what it is. So, what did we learn from this part of it? So far, we learned that hydrate. Let's see. Okay, so far we've learned, what have we learned? We learned that so the HTML starter, nope, Storybook HTML starter is a more vanilla JavaScript starter. And that's fine. That makes sense, because like, okay, so because CSF is a JavaScript format, so we can't just input HTML inside of JavaScript. Doesn't work like that. So I'm kind of curious, web components. So as I mentioned in the beginning, I don't know if you were here for that. If you weren't, I'm going to be exploring a lot of like the just different starters. So the next one I'll probably do is web components, to see how far that gets us. So we'll go back. We're going to kind of reproduce the same effort that we did before, but with a different framework. So that's the HTML one. I'm going to maybe subdivide this. Type React. This will be our first attempt with HTML. And then we're going to try to do another one with web components and see kind of how it differs. Oh, nice. I mean, feel free to derail. I mean, like, chat and what we're doing. I'm very slow moving, so Yeah, we'd love to hear it, or in Discord too. That's always choice, up to you. But I would love to hear more. Um, Okay, so we're going to kill this. We're going to go back. We're going to run npm sb repro, and we're going to do a type of. Oh, I don't know how the type is described for web components. So Storybook web dash components. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming that it's probably going to mirror that. So type web components. We'll see if that actually works. Unknown SB. Oh, I did npm, not npx. And I'm actually going to grab that. So for my notes here, npx SB repro type web components, unknown type. Okay, so I wonder if we need to pass that along like this. Hey! Oh, no, that didn't actually work. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. It just ignored it. SB repro. Okay, it's going to ask me, get the same thing. So we're going to do a web components one. Web component. Ooh. Web components, TypeScript, and web components lit 2. Wow. That's more than I expected. Well, let's just start from the top. Web components. So this will be SB web components starter. Okay, it's doing its thing. Oh, template. Okay, cool. We can try that next time. Okay, so this time we did web components and we did SB repro npx SB repro is what we did, and then we selected okay, cool. So what does this look like? So we're going to go into cd SB web component starter. We're going to yarn storybook. So cd I didn't capture that last time, but obviously that needs to happen. So button primary. Okay, so same demos that we were seeing before, and then we're going to open this up. Nope, not like that. Code. Open this up. All right. So what do we got? We got our stories. Okay, so that's same thing. Okay, assets. Okay, CSS. Okay, cool. We know that. Button.js. This should be a. Okay, so this is using lit HTML. So, you know, is what it is. What is that? It's like, is it just lit.dev or something like that? I think. Yep. There we go. I don't know what the difference between lit and lit 2 is. I'm curious if they have a version. Let's see, documentation. Okay, so this the default documentation at lit.dev is for v2. So if we were gonna do that, you're viewing docs for the older version of lit. So let's see. So we'd probably. Okay, so we'd probably want to do lit 2 if we end up going this direction at all. Let's see. Today we're announcing the stable release of lit 2. Lit 2 is a major update. It's smaller, faster, and better than before. Wow, it sounds not worse in any way possible. It lays the foundation for server-side rendering, and it's all wrapped up in a new lit package on npm. Okay, cool. Thank you, Anthony. For calling that out. So we have so far, what do we have? So this is our component. It uses this HTML tag template literal. And then the rest of this is very HTML-y, but with some JavaScript interpolation there. And then we have this @click directive, which is fascinating. I'm just kind of curious. Let's see. So what was it? lit.dev. And then let's see. Let's like directive. No, let's go on click. Working with events in the shadow DOM. Oh no, I want the API. Overview. I'm getting a little bit derailed now, but that's fine. Component style, lifecycle events. That's kind of the part that I'm interested in. Interesting. You can use @expressions in your template to add event listeners to elements in your components template. Declarative event listeners are added when the template is rendered. Interesting. So @click is like on click, I guess. Fascinating. And it just works. Cool. Let's see. I'm spelunking down the detect function in CLI. From what I can tell, it will never detect an HTML project. I mean, that's probably fair, right? Because like, what is an HTML project except, in this particular case, except just not another project. Oh, and then you said the same thing. Let's see. Okay. So this is good. What does the story file look like? Is it also pretty similar? We're going to import a button. This is fairly clear. This whole example is a lot clearer than the other one, which is kind of the like raw JavaScript one. So that's nice. Okay, cool. That worked. Let's try another one. So we're gonna try template this time. So what was it? It was npx. I'm gonna burn this into my brain. So npx sb repro, and we're gonna try template, and that template is going to be. Did we have? Let's see. Did we have options up here? Did those persist when we selected? I don't think it persisted when we made our selection. Let's see, Storybook. Is there a lit? Storybook lit. Okay, I wonder if this is Storybook lit is currently experimental and everything related to it is subject to breaking changes at any time. Please do not use it in real projects. Okay. Okay, so we're definitely not going to be using that to teach people. Oh, okay, here it is. The -t. So, oh no, that's SB in it. Oh yeah, that should still work. Type. Okay, let's see. Let's run that. So, dot dot. What was repro? Let's just do T. Maybe it'll just figure it out magically for us. So T. So template, and then we're gonna do lit. Lit. Steph, what's up? Good to see ya. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Please specify a valid template type. Okay, well, it figured out the template thing. So maybe if we do web component, web components, no. Okay, so how do I figure out all of the template types? Let me see if we can find that. So Storybook template types. Okay. Maybe I need a proper DuckDuckGo might not serve me today. So Storybook template types. No, that's for args, not the args of the CLI. Let's see, Storybook CLI. Oh no, Storybook CLI. see. Oh yeah, and then obviously, Jan, sorry about that. You said that we could do np x sb help. Okay, so this is probably the best way to do this anyway. So we have help extract repro, and then we have repro options. Let's see if we do go to repro help. Looks like someone's mowing their lawn. Okay, so we have T. Yes, that's template. Okay, cool, perfect. So template, use the given template. Okay, but it doesn't specify which templates that we can use. Is there an index of templates somewhere? Yeah, so I don't see a list. So to answer your question, Jan, I don't see a list here. I just see that template is an option. So yeah, so, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm gonna, some weed whacking or lawn care happening over there. Okay, yeah, sweet. Yeah, that'd be sweet. To improve that. Obviously, I can see how that could be like a little bit irritating because kind of have to keep it up to date. But at the same time, you could at least maybe show the most common examples. I guess the ones that we know we support might be a good way to do it. What do we have? Cool, Travis. Thank you so much for spelunking that. So we have React Native, Vue, Vue 3, Angular, Mithril, Riot, Ember, Marionette, Marco, Meteor, Preact, Svelte, Rax, and Aurelia. Then Anthony found the templates here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't include everything. Okay, so we know we're not going to use this lit one. So let's just, you know what? I think we're just going to call it on React. I don't feel super confident about knowing that this is using lit and it's not just like some like just bog standard web components implementation, which I mean, let's be honest, I don't even know what that would even mean at this point. Whatever. So we figured out that T is also template, which we can use. So we T with repro commands. Okay, cool. That's good. Good. Okay. Not feeling like this is good path. Given. Oops. These are just my personal notes. Doing here in an anchor is bad practice. So yeah, just my personal notes though. So just I don't want you to walk away thinking that that's a good idea. It's a bad idea. Be more descriptive with your links. Yeah, it is kind of fun. I appreciate you being here doing this with me. Okay, cool. So, okay, cool. So, we're just gonna give up, I guess, and just go with React, which is not my ideal, but is what it is. Okay, so in this case, we're gonna do reproduction, npx sb repro, and we're going to use T for template in this case, and we'll use React for that. This should work. I feel like in parallel, we learned how to use the SB, the npx SB repro command. So that's a win. So clear npx SB repro template React. Not for lack of trying. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So thanks, Jan, for the link. That's great. Um, let's pull that over. What do we got? Sorry, I forgot what I was looking for. This is the repro generators. Okay, so React is going to be in here somewhere. Okay, so we have React. Shows up a lot. We have Angular. What's the, let's see, so web components? Is that gonna be, okay, cool. Web components. Okay, cool. And so it's web components. It's web components underscore TypeScript. It's, so we got a next one. I wonder if we have, what's the lit2 one? So, okay, so it looks like maybe, oh, here we go. Web component, web underscore components underscore lit2. Okay, but what calls that? Oh, I guess that's the name. Web components lit2. Cool. Okay, cool. That works. Perfect. Okay, so we did our best, but it looks like it's probably going to be HTML. I mean, React. This is life. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, so enter the output directory. So there's going to be SB React starter. Actually, let me be more specific. So this will be the repro starter. Okay, cool. I'm curious your thoughts on this. So if you wanted to learn Storybook in isolation, so you're taking this course, you want to learn Storybook, you don't necessarily care about like what framework we end up using. Obviously, this repro command that Jan showed us is really nice because it gets everything set up in one command. But it is a little bit like off the beaten path. Do you feel like it's fair to start a course with kind of a weird command that gets you up and started quickly? Or would you want to, would it make more sense to start a React project and then start Storybook inside of it? It's tricky because I feel like there's benefits to each, right? Like it's really nice to just boom, one command, you're up and running. And I feel like maybe I could communicate that like, hey, this is, we're just going to try to get there as fast as possible. There's a lot of value in that, as opposed to immediately off the bat being like, okay, so in order to install Storybook, you have to have like a project like React first, and so we're going to create a React project. It feels like a lot of like it feels very meandering to me. Okay, so Smola Gaming, I hope I got that right, or Smola Gaming. So adding SB to existing project. Okay, cool. So we got to vote for that. Let's see. HTML, I mean React, my Twitter feed. Yeah, for real. I think you could start a React project. Okay, cool. So it's 2 votes, probably adding to an existing project. Okay, cool. That seems to be the direction. See how to start the React project and then adding Storybook, but that's just my, okay, cool. So it seems pretty unanimous. Okay, Smola, like Ebola. Got it. What a statement. I love it. Um, thank you. Thank you for helping me out there. I feel like you have practice with that one. You have you get a ready zinger to go. Okay. It's funny. It's like I never know how to pronounce things because like language continues to shift, right? Like so, like small, like SMOL is now kind of like Mimi small. So I don't know. I'm just lost. Too old for this. Uh, okay. Let's see. It'd be awesome to show people about the SB repro, but overall for the beginner, it makes sense to just show init. Yeah, and that's the command that they're going to be interacting with the most as well. Yeah, yeah, and I think knowing about SB repro is great now, because I feel like there is material that would actually be really great in terms of like debugging Storybook and opening an open source issue, like that kind of stuff would be super cool. Having maybe a mini course on that alone would be really cool. Um, Yeah, for real, right? Like I imagine so that like small thing is a real pain for you to deal with. It's like you never know what's gonna come and just make your life difficult. Like it just comes out of nowhere. It's always a surprise. Um, Stephanie, I was gonna call you out for small CSS. Um, I love it. I love it. Well, we're very smarry. We're very smarry, Smola Gaming, for making your life difficult. All right, let's do this. Let's get back into it. So it sounds to me like pretty clearly, nobody minds going through that detour of creating a React app, if it means that we're kind of on the right path from that point forward. And I feel like that's fair. I mean, I kind of want to jump in as fast as possible, and it feels like a detour. Um, but maybe I don't even start from there. I just say like, hey, we're starting from a create React app, and we're gonna kind of install it there. There's videos here if you want to learn how to do that. So maybe that's the tack. Maybe that's the tack that we take. Okay, Smory. I'm Smory too. So Smo Smory. Okay, so we got our thing. We're gonna go cd sb react repre. Yeah, my bad. Yarn storybook. Oh nope, yarn stories. Storybook. I don't know why it doesn't pick up that command. That's kind of a funny little quirk. See what we got. See what we got. Okay, so again, same thing, pretty consistent here, which is actually amazing. The degree of consistency that we see between these starters. Really love seeing that. We're gonna close this up. We're gonna open up another one. We're gonna do the code dot thing. Alex always cracks me up talking about how his terminal is just a fancy launcher for VS Code, and that is pretty true for me, at least. Okay, so what do we have? Stories. Okay, this is looking very familiar to me, having done a lot of React stuff. So we got our button CSS, we have our button JSX, and our button.stories.jsx. Okay, cool. So very familiar to me. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so what do we actually do? Let me grab that, put it. I think my default browser for that thing is Chrome, and so it keeps opening in Chrome. Okay, so we ended up using React, somewhat reluctantly, but that's what we ended up doing. This command actually worked, so we used that T argument to use the template and got React, which was great. Hooray! Wow, nothing. Frequently used. I'm so bad at selecting emoji. Ta-da, is that what it is? Ta-da, there we go. That's the one. Not hooray. SB repro will basically do something like np, yeah, create app. Yep. Okay, cool. So npx sb repro t for template React. We got our project. We do the cd and yarn storybook dance. That's great. We end up getting our thing opened. It's gonna, so yarn storybook. That's great. We're not actually going to use, let's see, I'm going to do a call out here. So how do we do that? Call out. Yeah, there we go. Consensus. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What? How do I close this? How do I quit you? How do I don't know, just click around a bunch and then eventually it'll stop. Eventually the pain stops. Okay. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's fine. Fine. HTML is simpler, and the only problem is that the MPX in it doesn't provide a helpful message. I could probably improve that if you like. Yeah, no, I think it's not so much. I think something that I needed to kind of like resolve in my head is that there's not really like a there isn't exactly a use case for using Storybook with just like raw HTML. I mean, you can kind of get away with it, but ultimately, like you're going to be using it for some type of JavaScript component. And I think that was the thing that I needed to justify, because even the HTML, like the template for it, is using kind of like raw vanilla JS DOM stuff. And so that was the thing and I mean, that's all, because there's not really a way that we would be able to import HTML into a CSF file. So it's because like CSF. So I'm fine with it. I was just trying really hard to like avoid it if I could. But I think it is what it is. It is what it is. And honestly, for the majority of people who are using this, they're going to, I have to remember that the majority of cases, like someone's going to be installing this newer project they already have. And as long as they know that they have to do that, that's going to be a fine concession. And then also, yeah, people like it's unfortunate. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. I keep wanting, I guess, just, I don't know, being honest, I keep wanting there to be like a really good way to do all of this stuff, get all of these like cool like dev tools in like just like HTML and CSS. But I keep forgetting that like JavaScript is that layer that really like kind of like binds all these things together. It is what it is. Okay, so we're going to start a React project first. Then we're going to start then we're going to invest this. We got that so far. Everything's working. We got our storybook. We got our examples. Okay, cool. So what do we have from here? We have a button component, which is great. And then I think we can probably go into, let's see, how do we do this? Question for those here. If you were learning about Storybook, you're now presented, you have the Storybook installed and you want to see like what's like, you're curious what's next. Are you the type of person who's more interested in the like code side of things? Like I want to know what all of this code stuff does? Or is it more like, okay, I got this Storybook page. Now I want to like, what is all this? What's this? What's this? I see. Oh, I won't continue. Because I don't know the words. I don't know the words to anything. I don't know any words to any songs ever, except for Toxic by Britney Spears, which is my favorite song and it's my karaoke song. So if we're ever like at a conference together doing karaoke, that's my song. Yeah. Let's see. I think an overview of the files were created and why. Okay, cool. So we got to vote for the overview of files. There's color everywhere. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so gosh dang it. What do you Oh wait, I missed it. I have such a tiny window. I have maybe like 150 pixels of of effective chat based on the way that my OBS is set up today, unfortunately. So oh, I have clips disabled? I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that. Uh okay, I'd probably want a brief intro to the main parts of the UI. Yep, fair hamburger menu, canvas, docs, then add-ons. Okay, so what was that? So hamburger menu, like this one? I don't see, I don't see a proper hamburger menu unless I'm just missing it. Um, User here is not already following the official Storybook getting started docs. Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good call. Toxic. Um, yeah, that's a good call. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Smola Gaming, thank you. Because I think that is really good because in as much as we can follow the kind of arc of the documentation, that's probably going to be good because people might be doing these kind of like side by side. So that's a good question. So if we go the documentation route, so we go from introduction to installation. We pretty much covered the whole installation document at this point in grueling detail for many different frameworks. So the next thing is, what is a story? And I do feel like that's probably important given that that's half of the name of the project. So yes, I think that's a good bit. Okay, so browse stories. Okay, so then once we identify this, have the tools for the story, or understanding what a story is, then we actually kind of talk about the browsing. So we go sidebar canvas, we go toolbar, we go, and then we go into add-ons. Okay. Set up Storybook. Okay, and then let's see, setup. I think this is like maybe more in depth. Yeah. Okay, so configuring for your stack, runner and component styles, all that stuff. All that stuff goes in next. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's fair. Let's either way, I can document it in sections, and we can kind of like move those sections around as it makes sense. So okay, so we got that. That's working. Okay, so the next like big. So the next big thing is, or headline thing is like, I actually put this. We were doing a planning meeting the other day, and we were kind of like, why do people not know about Storybook? Like, what's the, like, kind of like, why don't people care about Storybook? What are some of the holdups to actually marketing this thing? And I actually wrote WTF is story. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to repurpose it for us today. Okay, so what are some of the things that you need to know? Oh, hey, Yuka with data. Thanks so much for the raid. Appreciate it. And thank you to all of the 13 of you who are joining this party. I appreciate you. Basically what we're doing, I'm building a course, and in building that course, just going through some of the starting points for Storybook to, I don't know, learn what some of the problem points are and learn what people want to know as they're jumping into Storybook. So that's the big deal. What's up? Did I get that right? Yuka with data. Oh my gosh, so many cool emotes. I love it. I need to get my emote game going hard. Who do I ask to help me with emotes? That's what I need to know. I need I've Ben helped me get some word emotes, and that was a game changer. That was super helpful, super fun. We have some of those in our Discord server at discord.gg/lunchdev. But I want some of this chaotic energy, some of the wild bouncing around stuff, and I don't know how to make it. So who do I ask? Yes, we're having a great stream. Thank you so much for coming by and bringing some people over. Yes, tell us a little bit about your channel too. Yeah, tell us about what you're doing, what you were doing before you came over here. Oh man, that's awesome! Creating your emotes on Canvas, that's next level. I need to get on that. Raid. Okay, so let's get back into this. So we got Storybook set up now finally, and so we want to talk about the kind of nature of a story. What is a story? And so there's a lot of documentation on this. We get by default, we're going to have our button, our header, our page. So what are some of the components of this? So these are going to be like these. I'm going to document this too. So these are, oops, dot stories .js. So that's kind of like where they live, so we can look at the file system and know that that's where they're in. We know that they're in our slash stories directory. Let's see, what are some of the other parts of a story that we care about? So the stories are written in component story format, an ES module based standard for writing components. Okay, so I'm going to grab that because that feels like I could just repeat that, and that would be good to know. Nope. Block quote. Standard block quote. Okay, so, and then let's go get some information. It's interesting that this isn't a link because I feel like this is prime link. But if I go to Storybook CSF component story format, we should be able to find something. So big brain for me. What is a story makes me think of Dan Harmon's story circle. Dan Harmon's story circle is freaking amazing. I think about that every time I write anything. It's ridiculous. Thanks for linking to that because, oh wait, yes, I'm gonna open that up. This is like the secret of narrative. If you're trying to deliver a talk, if you're trying to convince people of something, like people at your company of something, and you have to like write it or you have to give something, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Dan Harmon's story circle is ridiculous. It is like this really just easy frame. Not easy, like you still have to do the work, but it is a framework with which you can tell a story that's compelling and invites people into like the end. So it's really great. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I nerd out on this stuff, and so I'm really excited, Anthony, that you posted this because now I have an excuse to talk about it for a second. Okay, so a character is in their zone of comfort. So zone of comfort for me was maybe like 30 minutes before I committed, like 30 minutes before I said absolutely I'm going to do this like stream today and actually like hit the button, right? Because like I was just chilling. I was doing stuff that didn't require me to show up really. I was just kind of like doing the easy work, right? Like the zone of comfort, like kind of where I'm happy just drinking coffee and just talking with people on Discord or Twitter or whatever, right? But they want something, right? So what's the thing what's the thing that I wanted? Well, I wanted to have honestly, I wanted to have one less thing on my to-do list. That was the thing that I wanted, and I really needed to do do some course prep. I need to have at least a couple of them done this week, so I actually move the needle on getting this course done, which is important to the me actually continuing to have a job. So they enter an unfamiliar situation. Now this situation isn't like completely unfamiliar to me, but it has been unfamiliar to me for like a period of time, like a couple, I guess maybe like 2 months now since I've like streamed. So whatever. Adapt to it. So it was super uncomfortable and awkward at first, like trying to be like, oh, like remembering all the things, but now we're back in it, and whatever. I'm adapted to it. So they get what they wanted. So at the end of this, I'm going to have this really nice Notion document, and it's going to have all this stuff, and I'm going to feel good about having made a little bit of progress on this thing. Now pay a heavy price. Now this, like, I'm not going to have paid a heavy price today, but like, I'll probably be tired and my voice might hurt at the end of this. this is a really bad example. It's falling apart. This is not a compelling story, is what we're learning from using Dan Harmon's story circle. So anyway, then they return to their familiar situation, which is going to be me sitting on the couch, doom scrolling Twitter. But having changed because now I moved the needle on this thing. I learned some things along the way. So that's Dan Harmon's story circle. It is a very simple framework, but uh, what is it? Dan Harmon's story circle. The one of the cool things is you can kind of go through. So like here's a couple like visual examples. So you can go through and like pretty much any sitcom, any like anything like pretty clearly follows this like movie, like all the good ones at least, like will follow this kind of this circle where you start somewhere and then go into unfamiliar territory and then come back to a point of stasis, but having learned something. One of my favorites is the kind of the Dark Knight, because it is a very like compelling story, and so mapping that to the story circle is always kind of an interesting thing. Tons of videos of this on YouTube, everything. um, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we got there. Um, oh my gosh, so many comments. I don't even know if I can keep up. Uh, Okay, cool. Yes, love the story circle. One thing about the stories folder, okay, yeah, is that it's, yes, bringing this back. I appreciate it, Jan. Is that it's a good throwaway folder in case you want to just delete it. Oh yeah, that's a good point. It makes sense to have it in certain projects, but mostly recommended to co-locate your stories files with your component. Sorry, my phone's ringing. I apologize. I actually have an actual like house phone, kids and whatnot having that. Nerd away. Thank you, Kai. I appreciate the support there. This is basically the hero's journey. Yep, hero's journey, but a little bit more fleshed out. But even more generalized. Yes. Catching up. Okay, didn't work on the HTML. Okay, cool. Looking good. I think we got it. And then Kaya, thank you for following, and then also for subbing. I appreciate it. Thank you. You're amazing. And then also Yuka with data. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. Man, someone's leaving a really freaking long message. On my my 1980s style message machine. So I apologize for that. There's going to be someone talking in the background, possibly indefinitely. This is the hazards of having a phone. Okay, cool. So what do we got? Okay, so we wanted to. Okay, so Jan's point, I wanted to capture that, which is the so the stories directory can easily be um, deleted, and the preference is to co-locate um, our .stories.js file. Okay, cool. What do I do for work? Yes, yes, I have an answering machine. I know, actually, uh, totally ridiculous. Let's see. What do I do for work? Okay, so I actually work at Chromatic, which is the company who builds and maintains Storybook, and we have a service that runs behind Storybook, or in conjunction with your Storybook, that allows you to do a lot of things. So like visual regression testing, kind of communicating about your components between people who might not have like Git access. So if you have like a PM or a designer who aren't daily interacting with the conversations happening in Git around the code, this provides a CI integrated way to kind of like communicate and test your components. So super cool stuff. And then Storybook, working with Storybook is really the part that I do. I work on the developer experience team, and So right now I'm building a course with Egghead, and that's kind of the whole thing I'm doing today, is just kind of fleshing that out. So yeah, but Chromatic is super cool if you're interested in the storybook way of building and documenting components. And yeah, I'm primarily front end. I've done some back end in the past, but I don't get super excited about it. Yes, I think Storybook is making games and having a storybook plot. Yeah, yeah. There is apparently a game, storybook game. Game. Let's see, where is this? Storybook the game. Wait, this isn't it. No, no, no. That's just what. Someone share a link with me. Oh no, your chat didn't show up on stream. Which one? I feel like I'm seeing it, but maybe not. Was it a link? Maybe that. Maybe that's why. Testing. Here we go. Storybook Brawl. Shadow Band. Sorry, I apologize. If it is, it's totally accidental. I don't really know how to do any of this stuff. I just kind of like turn it on and hope for the best. Storybook Brawl. Look at this. Uh, wow. News about gallery. This is it's insanely fun. Apparently, says the frog with the sword. I like this. I'm gonna have to give this a try. Maybe maybe this becomes a a stream where we talk about all manners of storybook. Whether that be Storybook the code, the code documentation tool, or Storybook the game. Oh yeah, yeah, might be a network thing. Cosmic ray bit flip. That happens. That happens. Um, Okay, cool. So let's see. So we got a couple points so far. Let's see. So let's go back to our documentation. What are some other things that we should pull out from here? So let's start with the button component. A story is a function that describes how to render a component in question. I feel like that's a pretty good thing to a pretty good definition of a story. I keep doing that. The markdown syntax for a block quote is that what is it? Sorry, that's very rude. Um, that's just the finger that it's on for me when I'm typing it. The greater than, but in Notion, it makes it twirl down, which is very or a toggle, very frustrating. Um, so I have to do quote every time, which is uh, ugh, ugh. I don't like it. I guess I'll get used to it. Miss all the helpful links. Okay, so what do we got? Okay, so that's good. Here's how to render button in primary state and export a story called primary. Okay, cool. So now this demonstrates it super well if you can see all the code. But I'm curious, like for me, something that I'm really interested in, are like what are the unique components, like the anatomy. Okay, so the anatomy of this is going to be what do we have? We have our export default, which is let's see, title prop is optional. CK configure story loading to learn how to generate automatic titles. Okay. Um, so the export default part is like I don't know, like metadata, like a description, um, about details for the story. Um, and then the named exports are going to be the actual like names of the stories. So the named exports, these are going to get mirrored in the sidebar. Let's make sure. So do we have our storybook here? So let's open this up. We have our button, and then our button has a primary, secondary, large, and small story. Small story. button, primary, secondary, large, and small. Okay, cool. So yes, all of these named exports do become stories. So that's important anatomy, I think. And then what else do we got? Okay, so this. Oh, we're in our HTML docs. Let me switch that back to React since we kind of came back to React. Okay, so then in that thing though, now I know that there's some CSF3 stuff that kind of changes the dynamics of this, but I'm gonna just do it as documented. So we're gonna have a title there. We're gonna have our component, and I think that is good enough. Now the title is actually the name where it shows up in the sidebar, I think. So right here we have title, and so that right now that's one thing that's kind of like interesting about Storybook is that it doesn't actually map to the file. This sidebar doesn't map to the file system. It's going to map to the title, and we can keep slashing this down. So title button subdir other subdir dir. Okay, it's pissed about something else that I did, but you can see that like because we changed the title actually impacts the sidebar. So something worth noting. So title. I did something that it really hates that I did. Couldn't find story matching example button subdir other subdir primary. Oh yeah, because I linked into it. That's why. Here we go. Jan says a good way to think about it might be that stories are essentially a combination of a component and its annotations. Interesting. So let's see. So Jan says, like primary is a button. If you think of that, primary is a button component with props that set the primary to true, props that set via args, story annotations. Yes, if you think of args types. Okay, yep. Okay, cool, perfect. Okay, that feels good. Now, man, the timing of this is like a little bit of a bummer because all of these are done in CSF2, which has this really kind of like funky thing where you set up a template and then you bind args to that template. And so what that gets you in the storybook ecosystem, the storybook world. Oh, I wanted to capture that link. Is that when you have args, now you have these like really cool things where I can actually like change these things. So this is the button text, and this is all just like built into Storybook. You get this free when you use the component story format, which is really neat. I can change this background color to that, and then change the size just using these buttons. Super duper handy. Boop, 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 boop. Neat stuff. So that's what you get from args, and so we need to talk about args too. Args are a big part of this. So args. What did we? I don't know if I captured the component story format yet. Component story format. CSF. Oh, nope. That's the link. Okay, cool. So component story format. Let's see. Annotations, the story level, but also the component level, meta, or the project level. They are merged by inheritance. Yes. That is probably a good thing. I'm gonna add a section to like deferred concepts. So we're going to have a story book. Let's see. So this is going to be, so Arg's inheritance. I don't know. That's something that we'll kind of like talk about later. Preview.js. I think that's more of like kind of an advanced topic than like a beginner getting started topic. Yeah, so I don't love having to go into the template.bind stuff, especially with component story format 3 kind of so like it's like available, it's so close. I think that we're probably going to have to, I think we're just going to have to deal with it. Um, so we'll use CSF2, um, unfortunately, which means that we need to talk about templates and the template.bind syntax. Let's see what else. Does anyone have any questions about kind of like how this works and whatnot? I realize that there are a number of people here who are very familiar with Storybook, and so I might be kind of like going over some of this stuff like fairly quickly. But I know that there's a lot here, and so I want to make sure that if you're following along and you have questions of like you have immediate questions that spring up to your mind of like WTF is that thing, um, I'd love to know because kind of figuring the right lane or the right approach or onboarding experience is kind of what we're after here. So, do I plan on going into MDX stories? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how far I want to take it. We have a couple of like key things that we want to make sure that people know. And then I don't know if MDX, I feel like MDX might be kind of like an augmentation to that or kind of like a more like pro type of thing. Probably stick with CSF just because that's what it comes with. And then in terms of things that we're going to add to it, probably go more of the add-on approach. So make sure that we find a couple key add-ons. Also curious, like what are some key add-ons that you like? Because I feel like for sure one of the add-ons that I want to get into add-ons. So one of these is going to be the Storybook accessibility add-on. So Storybook accessibility. Yes, yeah, and then of course the essentials. So this is an important and big one. So we'll do that. Let's go with the full catalog. Such a cool place to find stuff. Links, link stories together. This is a super popular one. It looks like the most popular one. So that one's really interesting. Maybe I should just go like top down on the most popular ones. So most popular. Because these are going to be the ones that people find, obviously. Designs is super cool. You can like embed different things from like Figma and whatnot. Mock Service Worker, freaking awesome. It's only the most popular because it was added by default in every single project. Oh, got it. Let's see. So accessibility. Yes, yes, yes. So essentials. So what are the essentials? Okay, we're gonna put the essentials on there. Okay, so what are the essentials? So the essentials are actions. Get UI feedback when an action is performed on an interactive element. Viewport, build responsive components by adjusting Storybook's viewport size and orientation. This one I'm actually curious about because I think, I mean, this is okay. Okay, I'm gonna tread carefully here. So there's a class of tooling that developer designers use to kind of like have a lens into multiple viewports at once. So that's going to be like Polypane and Sizzy are kind of like the leaders in that. They do a bunch of other stuff as well. However, something that I really like about kind of like if you do that inside of Storybook, you actually it's like incredibly like repeatable, and you don't have to have like kind of like shared standard environment setup, or like multi users. It's just like set up for you inside of Storybook, and anyone has the benefit of looking at it through that lens, not just the person who like has a software license. So this feels like a really important one because it kind of allows you to like capture that value at development time. Um, so I really think that, I mean, it's an essential. So yeah, but worth giving additional attention to, I think. Okay, so what else? So now essentials are the ones that just kind of like come in Storybook with you. So if you use SB init and don't just do like npm install Storybook and try to build it up from scratch, it's going to install all of these add-ons for you. So that's kind of like the difference, and maybe I should kind of like talk about that a little bit. Um, those that come with SB init. Okay, cool. Let's see. Testing library integration. Yes, yeah. Test runner stuff would be amazing. I have to figure out the timing of this. We're just working on so many cool things right now. It's like, if it's gonna be released around like 6.5 type time, then we have some really cool stuff that I'll probably include there. And I don't know, but if before that, then who knows? Who knows? Okay, I'm probably gonna do like maybe another like 10, 12 minutes of this. And then I'm gonna call it quits because I'm starting to fatigue a little bit after, hour 40. Okay, so actions, viewports, docs, that's a big one. Which gets us into Markdown, I think. Controls comes with it. Backgrounds and toolbars. Actually, I'm not sure I don't know if I've actually even used these. Um, so, okay. So it's funny because a lot of these things, so like Docs is an add-on, right? So we have Canvas, that's like the default view. Docs is an add-on. So honestly, it's kind of interesting in doing this UI tour. Doing a UI tour, we'd actually be touching on add-ons, which is kind of fascinating. Let's see. Into essential add-ons. Okay, cool. So, man, there's just so much. I hope that this is, entertaining, not fully entertaining, but like entertaining to anyone who's planning on building some course material. I know that that's kind of, there's a lot of mundaneness to this, and I appreciate you being here to help me keep it interesting. But then also I hope it's valuable to you if you're interested in doing more like creator type stuff, because man, there's just a lot of exactly this, just reading stuff and put it in Notion. What do they call that? Progressive summarization, I think, is a term that people use these days, where you kind of go through a process and then you like make your notes, and then you make notes on your notes until eventually you kind of like come up with these like core concepts that are easy to share. So that's really all that we're doing. Super useful. Thanks, Jan. Appreciate it. Let's see. Are you not entertained? Max, that Maximus, that actually reminds me of a tweet that I sent out this week, just with the introduction of the M1 Ultra and how just upset I am from a what's the word? A taxonomical standpoint, that Max is the second tier Apple chip now. Like, just really messing with my feelings that that's the case. Man, Max as like a tier 2 chip is just really putting a hurt on me this week. So I've just decided that it's a name like Maximilian or Maximus. Yeah, it's helping me. It's helping me break through my frustration. Just a mental hack, but it's okay. Whatever helps us get through the day. Okay, so what is this documentation kind of like leading us through? So we cover the anatomy of a story real quick, and this just covers like the one story case, which is actually really great. So we can, build up from like imports, the kind of setup across the stories, and then the individual stories. So we see that. So Storybook ARGs concept. So that very much clearly next goes into ARGs. And then we have so setting up ARGs. I'm going to put that in there. Okay. Kind of like, so that's the standard setup for ARGs. And then we're going to use, what is it? Bind to kind of bind ARGs. Bind ARGs to the template. And I just want to show you real quick, if you're here and we're just kind of going through this. So if I go to component story format 3.0, a bit of time ago, there was an announcement about a new component story format. And I just want to show you like how much neater this is. So this is what we're looking at. And this is kind of like why I'm a little bit like sad about the timing of this thing. So component story format 2 is what we've been looking at so far. So we export the title, which puts it in the sidebar. We use the component, which allows us to integrate with the controls, which are those knobs that you saw at the bottom. And then we create a template. And then actually, this is a little bit even cleaner than the example that we're looking at. But check out CSF3. Look at this. So we just export the component, and then we export a named export on this, and just do like an object with args, and then put it all in there. It's like so much nicer. I love it so much. Love it so much. Anyway, just more content to do afterwards, I guess. Okay, so we got through the bind stuff, and then that gives us access to control. So args describe the arguments to a button in a machine readable way. That actually yeah, that is super helpful right there. So let's put that description in there. Okay, cool. Also, I have to pee. That's why I need to end. And I just feel like it'd be super weird if I was like, hold up just for like 2 minutes and you just wait here while I'm obviously peeing. Like that would be, it's weird, right? Maybe I should stream with a diaper. Diaper streaming. Diaper streams. Hey, if you haven't branded yourself yet, diaper streams, that's for you. Take it, go with it. Can I clip that? I need to enable clips apparently. I didn't realize that. Human's got a bio break. Gotta get that diaper money. Yeah, man, it's an idea. Okay, cool. So we got a few stories now confirmed. Okay, cool. So I think that there's probably a lot to dive into here, probably more than I have time to like really express here, but express in the few minutes that we have left. But I feel like we made some progress. In summary, some of the things that we decided on, we were going to decide to. Some of the decisions that we made were to embrace React. So I'm going to call this, we're going to do like a stream 1 summary right here. Stream 1 summary. So we're going to embrace React. Embrace React. Oh my gosh, I'm in that same position now. What did I do? Embrace. Oh no. What can how do I quit you? Oh my gosh, so frustrating. Embrace React reluctantly as the starter. So that's kind of like our first takeaway, the first thing that we learned through everything. And then after that, we decided that we were going to start from an already set up React project. I assume like CRA is probably, I mean, that's like kind of the standard. I imagine that, I mean, I didn't even look at it, but I'm sure that this probably uses React scripts. Or what is this? Actually, it doesn't install anything additional. It's just React and React DOM. So that's interesting. That's cool. So I guess we could do anything. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll probably just start with like a CRA project. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Type of money is a good one. Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. I should probably maybe try, yeah. So that's a good, curiosity for the next stream. So can we do it with Vite? Uh, what is it? Which one is that? The Vite React template? Red one. um, Vite React template. Oh, I saw a stream coming in. So wait, do I have clips enabled? Is that a thing? I don't. Yeah. Curious. Okay. Let's see. So okay, cool. I'm gonna pop that. I do. Okay. Cool. Um, Ben? What was going on? I feel like if anyone has it, I feel like we're moderators on each other's channels. Then you should definitely have it. Okay. So Veet. This is going to be my curiosity for next time. Can we use? Oh wait, this is the Stack Blitz. What happens if we use Veet, and how far can we take it? And can let's see. So I'm gonna put that there. So the question is, can we do? I guess the bigger question is, can we get through? Um, oh shit. Can we get through an entire starter, or like getting started course without touching Webpack V? I think that would be the biggest thing. I think honestly, my hope is that that you can learn about Storybook without having like the beginner stuff would be isolated from having to think about a bundler, because it's too much. I definitely see that as more of like an advanced thing, even though you will end up having to interact with it like pretty soon. I feel like for a beginner course though, I'd really like to not do that, which would be great if we could get away with not doing it. Okay, cool. So Veet used in a lot of places besides that instead of Sierra, which is great feedback. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So CRA would probably be the de facto. Okay, cool. So we made that decision. We're going to start from a React project, which is actually a really important decision that we needed to be made. And then what was the other part? We decided, we kind of made an early decision to start from the story format. So from the file structure. And Alistair, I know that you'd kind of like put it the cleanest of that follows the docs, which is really nice. So file structure, because it follows docs path, which I think is really important. But then also it kind of follows the like the trajectory that we're on, because we're going so follows the like CLI terminal to code browser path. So it is kind of, so it kicks off that thing, but then we kind of like stay in the editor and say like, okay, so what did this generate for us? And then like investigate that. So I like that idea. Yes. And we'll see how it plays out. Let's see. The other part of the diaper stream is something that needs to be made. Yes, so many ideas. Just run with it. That's all you, Travis. Take it and run with it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. I feel good about where we're at. I want to thank you for being here, sticking through with me for so long. This has been super fun and informative for me. And yeah, hope that you got something out of it as well. I'm going to be doing more of these. I might even do one tomorrow, actually, to kind of like pick up from where we left off and continue to develop that material. But yeah, super grateful that you're here. Thank you for your feedback. This was really great. If you, you know, want more from me, or have questions to ask me or whatever, you can always hit me up on Twitter. I'm fantastic there. And then also we have a Discord server. If you're, checking things out, want to hang out with some of the people who were hanging out in chat today, it's discord.gg/lunchdev. So same as this channel, discord.gg/lunchdev. And we'd love to see you there. A bunch of really awesome coder creator folks in there. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for hanging out, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, everybody. Read up about the hero's journey for me and Anthony. All right. Bye, friends. See you later.